Aha, what is up, everybody? Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast. And as always, with my guy, my dude, the OG, the
Jim,
cigar killer.
Jim from the fan in the van. Ooh, and I think we're going to annoy some of the LeBron sexuals tonight. That's for sure, because we have to discuss it at
I
some
think
point. We
it
are
was time.
going down that path, and we will save that for later. Right now, obviously, we have to talk about your Knicks
Yeah,
and
baby. Game three's
the
live
team
right
that
now,
they are.
man.
Yeah, I mean, you know what really sucks is like I'm not a Knicks fan by any stretch of the imagination. But one guy that I truly always had high hopes for is Mitch Robinson.
Yeah.
He's kind of like that old school built center in a way,
Yep,
but the
yep.
guy just can't stay fucking healthy. It's like Murphy's Law with him. He comes back
Yeah.
from one injury. It's like Jessica Alba and Good Luck Chuck. Like that's what he's like. It's sad, but
He's
it's
so important, man. He's so important to the Knicks tenacity because that's how we win games, right? We figured out that the Knicks, we have Jalen Brunson, right? And then we just got to throw guys like him and Harmenstein, just that tough defense, right? They go in there, the rebound, that old school mentality. We're playing some great defense. The only reason is what we were able to beat Philadelphia 4 games to 2, and we're starting this series 2-0. And of course, Mitch goes out early on in the round. He's out for the playoffs.
well,
OG Anunoby, man, last game goes out. That's huge because OG Anunoby's that other guy, man, that, he is a two-way player. 18 points, 11 rebounds, plays defense on any other best wing defender, on any of the other best wings in the other team. And that's tough, man. And of course, even Jalen Brunson, who's been, again, probably the greatest Knicks postseason performance I've ever seen. That's no disrespect to Patrick Ewing. All right. No disrespect to Carmelo Anthony. No disrespect to fucking Bernard King, guys that put up a lot of points in the playoffs. Well, Carmelo barely played, so barely made it. So he shouldn't even be in the damn conversation. but you know what I'm saying? Jalen Brunson is the greatest postseason. He has been having the greatest postseason performance right now out of any Knicks I've seen, and I've been watching Knicks basketball for a long time. And he's even playing banged up. Game 3, know how it is right now. 69 or 63, man. We are about in the third quarter. Look, DiVincenzo came to play, had like 15 points in the first quarter. Josh Hart has 10 rebounds, hasn't been able to score. Brunson has started out slow, 5 for 13, and I expect that he's banged up, man. It's been banged up. Look, we're so short in the bench, bro, that we only have 3 players coming off the bench. All right. Jericho Sims, he's the backup center, McBride, and then Alec Burke. Alec Burke hasn't played like more than 10 minutes in God knows how long. He did put up like 13 points so far, which is great. That's what we're playing with. 3 guys off the bench. We're playing with 3 guys off the effing bench in the playoffs, which the time that you need the most people, man, which is insane.
yeah, and well, that's the thing that's going to hurt their chances of going even further is unfortunately all these
Yep.
injuries.
Yep.
And again, you hate to see it because right now for the city of New York, this is the
Beautiful.
greatest time right now. You have the Knicks winning in the playoffs. You have the Rangers fucking destroying
Oh,
everybody in the path in hockey. Which maybe instead of a 40-year curse, they'll knock it 10 years back and only make it a 30-year curse
yep.
finally, which would be nice because I would love to see a Stanley Cup before fucking I get taken out of this freaking hard world we live in. And then you
I,
have Yankees just Stanton's wanted for murdering baseballs right now. I mean, for all you little stat geeks out there, oh,
yep.
he hit it 120 miles off the bat.
Yeah,
Nobody cares.
yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care about exit velo. I don't care about hardest hit balls. I don't give a shit. You know what I care about? Runs, pitching, winning.
Yep.
Those are the 3 stats you should ever worry about. And that's something that Brent would agree with. I'm
Mhm.
sure Garrett would agree with. Anybody with common sense who talks sports, watches sports, half of them probably don't give a shit about your whip, war, fucking slip, slope, fucking jerk off like a. It doesn't matter. Just it's just worry about the hitting, the
Mhm.
pitching, and scoring. That's it. That's all you should worry about. The rest of this other shit is for those virgins that live in the basement that don't get none. And they're just like, oh, look, mom, I took whip and I made it walks, hits, inning pitch. Ooh, look at me. Aren't you proud? Oh, honey, I'll put that on the fridge.
Yeah, I posted on Facebook. That's what we did. All right, what are you smoking tonight, Jim? I am definitely not smoking anything tonight. As you know, your boy is jet lagged, tired, spent 5 days in Vegas for a conference, and oh man,
You know, you know what they say about Vegas. What
yeah,
stays, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except for herpes. That shit comes back. That shit
always
comes.
that shit always comes back.
That's one of the best lines in Hangover
Mhm.
3 that like there
It
ever
was
was.
that
Oh
shit
god.
stays with you forever. It won't kill you, but it'll stay with you forever. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, it'll be like Rob's wife. It disappears and then it just pops up out of nowhere.
oh man, like I was telling you earlier, man, I'm getting too old for this shit, man. I had a great time, bro. I mean, I made a lot of good new connections. Got some stuff that I'm bringing back to my operation, which I'm going to use. But also met up with some, top leaders in the industry that I work for, and of course, the partying was out of control, man. It was stupid. I mean, yeah, I can't complain, man. But I'm back, and today I was like, by the way, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there this weekend. All right, I have another eventful weekend. That's the reason why we're doing this today, as jet lag as I am, instead of like tomorrow. But yeah, man. What you smoking, brother? What you got there, man? What you got there?
I went back to an oldie but goodie, big time Tommy, but I went
Oh,
with
the reliable.
the 6x60 version of it by Asylum 13. I'm sure plenty of
My
people who
gosh.
watch know about the cigar. They have the 7x70. The only issue now with this cigar, and it's not even Tommy's fault, they changed factories. Like they
Hmm.
moved from like Nicaragua to like Honduras or some shit.
Okay.
So like so like some of them like as soon as you started smoking, like the leaf would crack a bit. It's not as tight as it normally would be.
Hmm.
Uh, and that was something that because it was funny because when I went in there and I was talking to Evan, one of the owners, about it, he
Hmm.
goes, "Yeah, we had a discussion with Tommy there that night."
Hmm.
And Tommy's like, "Oh no, it's where you put the cigars in the humidor." And everybody's like, "No, that's
No, no, no.
no." Listen, like a real lounge knows how to properly regulate humidors, like how
Mhm.
much water should be in it, the temperature, and all that nonsense. So it's one of those where it's like, when you change factories,
Yep.
you know,
That
the
happens. That happens.
the,
That's something that happens.
the blueprint isn't the same right
Mhm.
away. And that's no fault to anybody who makes cigars. Like if San Giuseppe decided, hey, we're not gonna make our cigars in the Dominican Republic and we're gonna go to like Guatemala, and the first few batches that come out may suck, and then you got to go down there, you got to correct it. Tommy's not going to go to friggin' Honduras, but the people behind the cigar are going to
Oh,
go down there and fix it. So,
well,
and that's what they did. It didn't crack so far, and hey, all reliable.
good. That's a good comeback. I mean, sometimes fixing the error is it's a bigger feat than actually not having one. I mean, it's how good you
which,
come back. How good you come back from the complaint. So if they were out
which
there and
is kind of what's going on
yeah.
in the basketball realm with a certain topic, where
So
people are finally starting to see the error of their ways a bit.
I'm gonna pull up that clip, man, because we got to let's set that off. Let's set that off with
Yeah,
Wilbon because he's the one who started this, and everybody and their mother jumped on it about a week ago. Let me go ahead and we'll start to get a play, and then we'll kind of give our reactions because there was a lot of things we agreed with from there. Some of them we did not. And I'm shocked that Wilbon was wanted to go that route. He is a very individual that he's good at what he does, but he tries to doesn't start. He stays away from what you might call it from any controversy. Right? He's good at what he does, but he's not. Hold on a second.
I think he really did it because he's just tired of hearing everybody make the excuses. Like,
Excuses.
you put this guy here and you're saying that he's at the level of this guy,
Mhm.
but yet he fails every time he tries to reach this plateau, but yet everybody's still saying he's
Mhm.
on that plateau. And but people like me, I'm tired of hearing it. Michael Wilbon's got a platform to say it on
Mhm.
where everybody gets to see it. And there are a lot of people that disagreed with it. There's a lot of people who agreed with it. Those that were kind of iffy on it kind
Mhm.
of went this way. But we'll let the people who haven't seen it yet watch it,
Yeah.
and then you know.
Let's check it out real quick, and I'll pause it through the middle. But let's get started. This is a great way to set off the segment.
He's a great guy, and he's a pretty damn good coach. Because he took a team that had done nothing the year before, missed the playoffs, and last year they got to the conference finals with him, and everybody had praise for him, including LeBron and Anthony Davis. And now all of a sudden I'm talking specifically to the two of them now. They blame him. Their public comments are inadequate. Let me just say this. If you want to be the GOAT, you want to tell everybody you're the GOAT, you're the greatest player of all time, you want to have it on podcasts, you want to have it, then take accountability like one. Do that. There's a social media.
I'm going to stop it there. Love the accountability point, right? Because no one holds LeBron James accountable.
Not even LeBron holds LeBron accountable.
Exactly. Everyone held MJ accountable with everything he fucking did. And that's why I'm glad MJ wasn't around the social media era. Because you notice, right? He was, and I know you've been you're watching the Last Dance, right? And one of my favorite quotes is, and not to get political, but it shows the kind of person MJ was. If I didn't know you, I'm not going to vouch for you. Just because it's the right thing to do, right? And I love it when he said about why he didn't back up a mayor that was running for Chicago that was African-American. One of the first ones, he goes, I don't know the guy.
Yeah.
Why should I just vouch for him because he's African-American, he's black, right? It's a great thing. Shout out to him. I hope he makes it, but I don't know him. Why am I going to go ahead and endorse somebody I don't know? And that pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
And my favorite line is when he said, well, Republicans buy sneakers too. So I am not going to alienate anybody from buying my shoes or from watch my game. So big difference from LeBron James, who, again, goes out there, says certain shit about basketball, non-basketball that, boom, nobody says, oh my God, he said it. Let's go. Nobody holds him accountable even when it's wrong. He says a lot of shit that's wrong. And nobody holds LeBron James accountable on and off the court. I get it. You know what? He has the biggest platform in the world. I understand. Do good, do bad. But when you fuck up, you should be held accountable just like everybody else does.
Yeah. And and the other thing is too, like when you look at, like even take when like MJ lost a game, Kobe lost a game, and then when LeBron loses a game, like the more that comes out, like somebody tweeted out, it was a side-by-side interview of Jordan losing a game and then Kobe, and they're identical. It's like, I didn't live up to the potential tonight. Like they were putting it all on them instead of throwing like Phil Jackson under the bus, which coincidentally Phil Jackson coached both of them. And you never seen Jordan throw Phil Jackson under the bus. You never seen Kobe throw Phil Jackson under the bus, but you've seen LeBron throw every coach under the bus. And that's something GOATs don't do. They take accountability. And the best thing too, really, that Jordan said, amongst other things he says in The Last Dance, was he goes, it's my responsibility. If you're coming to watch me, it's my responsibility to give you the best of me.
Yep.
And that's something that you don't see LeBron do. And for you LeBron sexuals out there that think he could have ever survived in Jordan's era, go watch Jordan getting up in Reggie Miller's face. Watch Jordan getting up in Patrick Ewing's face. LeBron would have ran from guys like Charles Oakley. So I'm just saying, I'm not discrediting what LeBron does on the court, but he's not a GOAT.
And put it this way, I don't think that there's a shadow of a doubt that LeBron would have been successful. He would have. I mean, the guy's is a first of his kind from athletic nature, whatever the case may be. He was bringing something to the table. Magic Johnson 2.0 in that era. He'll be able to play there and have as much success. However, the factor of the toughness of the league, Jordan was Defensive Player of the Year. Jordan led the league in steals. All right. LeBron has never led the league in any defensive category. All right. This is what you call a guy that not only won 10 straight scoring championships, all these things, but also played defense and was one of the best defensive players in the league. Yeah. And that's in an era that, Jordan was getting cross-lined by Xavier McDaniel, the bad boy Pistons, all right, the Knicks, the Celtics, all right, the Lakers. It didn't matter. I mean, every team had enforcers back there. They had a person. It doesn't matter. Even the shittiest team in the world had a guy. I need you to go out there and body slam this guy. That was a technical one back then.
Yeah.
Defense was play a little different. Hand check rule. You could hand check the dude as soon as he got the ball. All right. So there was a lot of control where you put this individual. Granted, I'm again, LeBron. I think LeBron would have been done great. However, when LeBron will get his ass knocked down a couple of times on his ass, I think you'll see a little bit of a, let me just stay away. And he was never a great outside shooter to begin with to have success in that matter. So that's one thing. Again, I give MJ over LeBron. He played both ways. He played both ways.
The other issue is because, so like, Monday or Tuesday, I did it again. I did the kind of the debate again, and I used the Wilbon thing and everything like that. And I make reference to how you can't have, you really, it's kind of premature to have this debate when really the debate should be who really was the better of the two. And in my opinion, it's Jordan and then Kobe.
Yep.
Because they emulated each other so much. And not only that, they had an impact on the game. And I forget who it was that came out and said, well, LeBron's had a global impact on the game. That's bullshit, because anybody who watched The Last Dance, the NBA at that time was only televised in like 80 countries.
Yep.
After the Jordan era, and because of the Jordan era, and not just because of Michael Jordan's at the forefront of it, but you got to give guys like Ewing and give Shaq credit and all these other guys, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, Dennis Rodman, Karl Malone, John Stockton, all of them. You got to give them all the credit in the world.
Hold on a second there, Jim. 87-83, Knicks. 1 minute left in the third quarter.
Oh, boy.
This team is scrappy, bro. DiVincenzo, huge third quarter, up to 32 points. The big Ragu, my man, he's doing his thing right now. The big Ragu is fucking shooting the lights out. 6 for 8 beyond the arc, 11 for 21. Hopefully, Jalen Brunson is kind of heating up a little bit too. Listen, man, these Knicks they're dogs. They're scrappy, dude. They're scrappy. Let's get back to the conversation. I love it, man, because this kind of reminds you of a team that has a lot of grit, man.
Yeah.
Down a bunch of motherfuckers, man, and they're still out there. Now they're leading in the third quarter, man. Let's go, baby. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
But they had a global impact, because after that, the NBA was in over 200 plus countries, and that's something that LeBron gets to enjoy. He didn't put in the work to get the NBA. So, because somebody took issue with, well, how did Jordan pave the way for LeBron? Somebody always paves a road for somebody else to walk down. And that's in any sport or in any form of life. Somebody paves a road for you to go down, and you get to enjoy all the fruits of somebody else's labor. And for some, yes, they've added an impact to the game. I'm not saying LeBron hasn't had a significant impact, but he's also had a negative impact by just him flopping, whining to the referees, trying, pretty much being the Tony Soprano of the NBA, where, nope, it's the coach's fault, which leads to another debate.
Yep.
You look at teams like the Suns. You fire Frank Vogel. And I forget who it was that came out and they said, you fire Frank Vogel. He's a hell of a coach, but somehow the Suns not having depth is his fault.
Yeah,
when you have ownership that doesn't know what they're doing.
Or a point guard. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you traded away all your depth to get Kevin Durant. You lost all your depth when you made that trade. And with LeBron,
same thing with LeBron, dude. It just happened with Darvin Ham.
All of a sudden it's Ham's fault that this team can't perform. But look at the pieces they had when LeBron got there, and when they won it in the bubble in 2020. Okay, why didn't you keep those pieces? It worked then. It still would have worked now if you kept them all. But somehow it's Ham's fault. And if you think that Ty Lue is leaving the Clippers to go next door to the Staples Center and deal with this egomaniac, what, for the same result? No coach should want to go to LA because they know what their fate's going to be.
Ty Lue retired, man. He said he wasn't feeling well. That's because he didn't want to deal with the drama in LA. And here's the thing, Jim. The bubble championship, huge asterisk. I'm going to tell you why. All right? Because it gave fucking Anthony Davis and LeBron James the biggest load management in the history of the game, because they stopped them right mid-season, and you took a break, you got healthy. dude, AD the year before, remember? Injured. They didn't even make the playoffs, bro. All right. They were headed in the same way. All of a sudden, they had a nice break. Everybody got healthy. Boom. That to me, man, that's a huge asterisk. Just, you know what I'm saying? Because you didn't play a full season. All right. You didn't go through the grind of the full season. And that's the whole point about winning a championship is going through the grind of the NBA regular season and then how your players, perform with the grind, the body, the pushing of your body and the stuff like that and the injuries in the playoffs. So again, I don't respect that championship. You got it. Great. I don't respect it. I don't respect the fact that he says that he's won two of the most mental championships, stressful mental championships are the toughest championship in the history of the NBA when they came back, from 3-1. And then also this one in the bubble. Get the fuck out of here. Bro. See, again, the accountability factor of just making excuses about why he's so great when the guy that is the greatest never said why he's the greatest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people say it for him. LeBron has to say it for himself. Big difference.
Yeah. I mean, and then and then the other issue too is like, for me, like, if you say something negative about LeBron, he doesn't know how to take it and use it as fuel. Like
a little bitch.
Like BJ Armstrong said some, like when he was on the Hornets, he said some dumb shit to Jordan. And he's like, all right, bitch, you know what? You're going to say this shit? Watch what I do the next night. This guy says something. Everybody stood around and go, man, y'all just don't learn. Shut the fuck up. Don't say shit about Jordan because Jordan had that extra gear and extra gears after that extra gear where he'll take anything you say and he'll go out there and be like, all right, I ain't going to put 37 on you in the first half. I bet I'll put up 37 and then goes out and does it. If LeBron does that and doesn't do it, oh, well, there were these fouls and there was this, that. It was the coach.
It's the league against LeBron. They don't want LeBron to win, that kind of shit.
And not only that, like people ask me why I don't really watch the NBA. The Pacers are a prime example. Speaking of this NBA playoff, you mean to tell me you filed a grievance on 78 fucking foul calls that you thought were incorrect? So you sat there and watched this game how many times to find 78 fucking calls that you felt were inconsistent? Like, you know what? This league is so bitch ass soft. It's just disgusting because you would have never seen Phil Jackson go to the league and say, I found 78 calls that I felt were incorrect. They would just be like, all right, this is how they called it. Fuck it. We'll go out the next night and destroy them.
Absolutely.
Like that's the difference between the two eras of basketball is you got a bunch of sensitive ass fucking Karens and playing in one era, and then you had fucking real men playing in a different era. It's like, come on.
It's what we're dealing with. Today's huge, bro. Today's youth. That's the same era that we're at right now. And LeBron, unfortunately, even though he's from the early 2000s, right? He should have been like in the middle, but he is the originator of that kind of stuff. All right, let's go ahead and let's keep playing this and react to this audio.
Media thing out there now with Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan, it shows them after they lost in the series. And it shows the determination. It shows them saying, nope, we weren't good enough. I wasn't good enough.
True.
There's been some of that, but there hasn't been nearly enough. If you're the GOAT, you do that. You don't blame this cryptically or backhandedly on Darvin Ham. I don't want to hear from anybody in a Laker uniform that the primary problem was Darvin Ham. Yes, LeBron
and LeBron does that and surrounds himself with players that also act like him. That's why he brings players in. Well, before the Heat, and we'll get to that as well. After he left the Heat, he wanted to play with certain guys that he wanted to bring in. Kevin Love, sensitive little bitch. Kyrie, space cadet, talented people, but they're not all up here. All right. And then Anthony Davis, look what happened in this series. They asked him what happened in game 2. Jamal Murray hit a shot and then he left.
No accountability.
No, dude. What happened is that we fucked up in the fourth quarter. We gave up a lead, and guess what? And Jamal Murray, who's a stud, hell of a, he's a tough guy. He kicked their asses. Jordan would say that against the Pistons every time he lose. He hated them, but that was the team that had their number. Isaiah Thomas, He said he was one of the greatest after Magic. He was probably the greatest. He didn't like it. He was an asshole, but he was one of the greatest point guards. He said he hated playing against Joe Dumas because Joe Dumas probably played the best defense on him. And you couldn't tell if that was good defense because it still dropped like 30 something. But you know what I mean? He would say that he gave the respects every time he lost to them. He was pissed off. He was pissed off at the team. He was pissed off at himself. He was pissed off at himself, not at the refs, not at the other team making excuses. Wilpon hit her right out of the bat there. Kobe, same way.
And then like the other thing too is so like somebody tweeted out like the side-by-side interview. Mm-hmm. Then they even tweeted out, I wish who it was so I can give them credit for it. Then they tweet out like after like a huge loss, Jordan staying on the court and just watching it. Mm-hmm. Kobe sitting there watching it. LeBron's already in the locker room. Like Jordan and Kobe are giving the other team respect, dapping them up, doing whatever. Yo, good game, but I'm gonna whoop your ass tomorrow night. Whatever, the friendly banter. Friggin' there's LeBron going to change his fucking man pond and use Summer's Eve on his mangina and cry in the fucking shower while Anthony Davis friggin' consoles him because they're two little baby back bitches. And I'm sorry, LeBron sexuals, if you're watching and you get offended by it, but you guys need to be educated on why one guy is better than the other, why one guy is anointed to GOAT by everyone who watched him. One guy has anointed himself to GOAT because he believes his own hype. And it's not to say that LeBron isn't talented, because he is. I'll give LeBron credit for playing at the level he's playing at the age of which he's playing.
He's done. That's one thing he's done that nobody has ever done, playing that many years at that level. I'll give him that.
I couldn't do that. Even if I was in basketball shape and played professional basketball, not even I know I could take my body that far as long as he has done it.
He is the first of his kind.
But here's the thing. You sit there and you would think now that you're older, you would have matured a bit and realized, hey, this baby antic bullshit may have worked when I came into the league, but it's not going to work now. And people are so tired of it that the ones that have defended it have deterred away from it, and they're now on this side of the spectrum with us, the knowledgeable people that have seen this forever and are done with the smoke and mirror show. And if I have to hear a Cleveland Cavalier fan again say that LeBron won them a championship, motherfucker, you are wrong. Give Kyrie the fucking credit he deserves, because again, Jordan has made big shots and has missed them. Kobe has made and missed a lot of them. LeBron has always passed the ball away in the big moment. You want to know why? Because he was afraid to admit failure. Where Kobe and Michael Jordan weren't afraid to fail, this man is, because he knows that the unknowledgeable fucktards out there will crucify him. The knowledgeable ones will be like, yo, he put up a good shot. It just didn't fall. It is what it is. But no, you're just afraid of the moment. Like, every time you had the big moment, you're like the Eminem song. Would you capture it or let it slip? Well, bitch, you let it slip every fucking time. Jordan always captured it. Kobe always captured it. Fucking even Isaiah Thomas captured it. Larry Bird. But you're afraid. So fuck you.
It pisses me off that nobody gives Kyrie the props, man. Because
it's annoying.
He apart from hitting the big threes, game 6, game 7, forget about Draymond getting ejected. It is what it is. But everybody forgets that he was guarding and also was being guarded by the first ever unanimous MVP in Steph Curry. He made Steph Curry his bitch because he couldn't keep up, all right, with Kyrie. So, again, you take Kyrie out of that mix like the year before, and they get swept.
Yeah.
All right? Let me tell you that. People forget about that, bro. LeBron had an unbelievable series where the big shots was Kyrie Irving, and nobody gives him enough credits. Let me go check the comments over here real quick.
I'll give LeBron credit for taking a shitty Cavaliers team when he first came into the league to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
I'll give you credit for that, but I mean, after that, everything's been what it is.
Reverie Sports agree with you. LeBron, I have behind Kobe of all time. I wouldn't be mad at that either. I love Kobe.
Exactly. I mean, every Jordan debate episode I've ever done, or even when I talk about it with other people, 95% will agree with this assessment. And if you're in the 5% that don't, listen, you're entitled to that. Everybody's got an opinion, just like we all have assholes. Just unfortunately, some people's opinions are stank like their asshole. But
the assholes are bigger. Those are the other people because
because
they play games. Yeah.
they're playing Diddy games, but whatever. It's always going to be Jordan, then Kobe. LeBron being third, I can't say no to it. You can maybe make an argument for why maybe a guy like maybe Tim Duncan would be before him.
Honestly, dude, at one point when it's all said and done, look, I'll give him second, bro. I mean, because it's gonna be a long second, you know what I mean, from him if you want to do that, because you want to give him his 4 chips, right? We play with a ton of people, and then we're gonna touch that in a minute. Let's finish this audio real quick. Let's finish this video because you're almost there, and then we'll. I got something for you
in that series, but they weren't good enough against Denver. So take that on. GOAT carries responsibility. I don't see it. In the firing of Darvin Ham. So go handpick somebody. They're not getting T. Lue. If you're the owner of the Clippers and you got way more money than the Lakers and just as much ego, you ain't letting T. Lue walk across when you got a new stadium and you got stars. You don't need them to go to him to go to the Lakers. This is infuriating that the hand is behind this move, Frank. It's just intellectually lazy and unaccountable. And those two guys are too great. They're Hall of Famers. You got to be better than that.
So I hit him again with it in the neck with a sharp edge and just plumb near cut his head off. Killed him.
That's pretty funny, bro. Switchblade. All right, let's quick in-game alert before we go out. 98-96. The shit is getting close now. 98-96. Knicks are still up by 2. 7-22. I mean, this whole series has been like a heart attack, dude. They hit it's a back and forth, man. But hey, we'll keep everybody here afloat as we keep talking about the GOAT here, Michael Jordan. Jim, so here's another thing, right? You were talking about earlier. It's a guy that leaves a lasting impact on the game. But MJ left a lasting impact on just the culture, right? The NBA culture. How many people here are buying LeBron James sneakers?
Not many. But not only that, how many people have been robbed for LeBron sneakers?
Yeah.
And how many back in the day would get robbed for the Jordans?
There's like right now, there's a second or third generation that never saw Jordan play and are freaking rocking these sneakers, bro, and paying a shitload of money for them. So MJ changed the game. MJ changed the basketball culture. MJ changed a lot of stuff that made these guys be successful today. LeBron would not be a billionaire if MJ did not do every single thing he did. All right. The shoe contract, the way that he handled that. All right. The entrepreneurship is himself after the fact, using his, his fame and his career. Because remember, he didn't make a lot of money based on salary. Well, it was a lot of money for you and I, but not if you compare the salaries, it's not even close. So there's a couple of things, man. Look, MJ was dominant on his own. People came to play with him. He didn't go to play with other people to win. All right. Big difference. When MJ was not retired or did not decide to come back, he only played like 15 seasons if you think about it. This man retired twice. All right. And he still had gas the second time he retired. Nobody retires in their primes, comes back mid-season. All right, fine. They didn't win, but they come back the season after that and throws three championships with the NBA having a bunch of really good players. That's another thing. And when MJ ate, there was not another superstar on the planet that fucking ate. A lot of players have eaten in LeBron's era. And the longer he plays, the more people eat. All right. Yeah. So I'm telling you, you got guys like nobody has 6 championships when MJ played. There's guys that have 4 championships with LeBron played, just like LeBron, as many as he does.
Yeah.
All right, Steph and the Warriors have 4 chips.
Didn't
All right,
need
you know
what
what I'm saying? Exactly. You know, I know the Spurs won one before he got there, but I think they won like 3 or 4 when LeBron, and I know it was early. But if you compare that, I mean, hey, you know, you got teams that have won consistently, especially the Golden State Warriors. There was in that dominance of the fucking Bulls, man. Nobody else won.
And then, like, not only that, but like, it shows you, like, so when Jordan left the first time, and even with Scottie Pippen at the helm, right, they still won 50 plus games without Michael Jordan.
Unreal.
I mean, until Pippen became a little bitch, and it's like, oh no, we're going to give the ball to Tony Kukoc for a game-winning shot, and he's just sitting on the bench, like, well, you know, kind of like what LeBron would do. Well, if the play's not designed for me, then I'm going to sit the bench, or I'm going to go to the locker room. But even, and that's the other argument is, like, Jordan had such an impact with everybody else around him. Like, Jordan didn't need Scottie Pippen.
No,
it helped, but he didn't need him. Scottie proved he needed Michael fucking Jordan.
It's kind of like
LeBron needed Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Anthony Davis to win his championships. He had to go to somebody else's team to fucking do it. That's not what a GOAT does. Tom Brady won 6 championships in New England, right?
With a bunch of no names at wide receiver.
With guys who flocked to him because they got to play with one of the greatest quarterbacks. I'll give him his credit, even though I can't stand a douchebag, but with one of the greatest quarterbacks ever to step foot on a football field. They got to play with greatness. How many of these guys can say that in this era of basketball, that they got to play with greatness? Not fucking many of them.
Now that you mentioned teammates, let's rank, and I'm not gonna go crazy with all these teammates because LeBron played with a lot of freaking people. Let's rank the top 5 teammates of all time that each guy played with. Of course, let's start with Jordan, Scottie Pippen. I don't have the stats in front of me, but his best years with Jordan was about 21 points a game. He averaged a little over 21 when the second greatest teammate Jordan has ever had could frankly be a toss-up between Dennis Rodman and Tony Kukoc, right? We all forget that Scotty's a 13-point-something a game career scorer. So is Tony. And Rodman was just a hell of a defensive player. So we're up at 1, 2, and 3. After that, what? Horace Grant? I'm only talking about Bulls player. Yep, Horace Grant next.
Put Horace Grant.
Yeah, and then maybe we have at number 5. We're not at number 5.
You know who I would put at number 5?
Who?
Steve Kerr.
Dude, you know what? Yeah, Steve Kerr is there actually at like a number 5.
You could actually do like a 5A and 5B.
Yeah, you got Steve Kerr as a 5A. Well, no, Ron Harper. I think Ron Harper also played really good, 94 season. And BJ Armstrong, all right? Remember the point guard? So I think you can have 5A, 5B, and 5C. This is like, because you can even put these guys in. I mean, you take these guys and they would not be in a starting lineup, except for Pippen and maybe Kukoc. Kukoc, because Kukoc game today would be pretty sick. You know what I mean, dude? Yeah. So Kukoc game today would be pretty sick.
Yeah, he would be like a Luka Doncic level right now.
Exactly. So now let's go to LeBron James' top teammates of all time, and he has a lot of top teammates, man. All right, let's rank his top 5 here. Ready? We're not gonna say Shaquille O'Neal because he was washed up, right? When he went over there. Let me see here. Let's go. Actually, no. They gave me the top 5. Like we could do it at the top of our head. Ready? Number 1. You got to give him Dwayne Wade. Why I say Dwayne Wade the first one, because Dwayne Wade was a dog. Dwayne Wade, it just wasn't durable, right? But Dwayne Wade was a dog. He's won it before he got there, and he did it in MJ fashion. When they came back on Dallas, bro, it was Dwayne Wade putting up Jordan fashion performance, right? I could say that's number 1. Number 2, Anthony Davis from I guess, no, you know what? Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Kyrie because Kyrie is a big reason would they won that championship.
Yeah.
AD because of the talent, right? All the numbers, not because of clutchness.
Yeah.
Then you have I put what's his name over. Oh man, my other dude from they play for the Toronto Raptors, Chris Bosh over Kevin Love.
Yeah.
You potentially there have for sure a Hall of Famer in Wade, for sure a Hall of Famer in AD. I think Chris Bosh is borderline Hall of Famer as well. And even, I don't know about Kevin Love, but yeah, I mean, but Kyrie, he could be a Hall of Famer if he plays at least 4 more years.
Yeah.
That's, let me see here. Here's another. Do you think LeBron wants to be a Lakers player coach? He already is. Bravery Sports. He already is. He's also the damn GM. He is the guy that's why it pisses me off when they blame Darvin Ham, because Darvin Ham was given a roster that LeBron James has a lot of input in it.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's been. On the only time that has never been the case, it was when he played in Miami, because Miami, you still have an OG and Pat Riley that said, no, Eric Spoelstra is my coach. You're going to listen to what Eric Spoelstra is going to say. Get your ass in the court. I'm going to build the players around you. I'm going to bring the shooters, and I'm going to bring the other role players and stuff like that to play with Bosh and Wade. All right, I'm going to bring the Ray Allens of the world. You're not telling me who I'm bringing.
Yeah.
This is what I do, man. I won championships before you even thought of.
Yeah,
so,
we were winning championships when LeBron was sucking on his mother's nipple for breast milk. So
yeah, exactly. So there we go. So that's why every other organization, LeBron has been giving carte blanche decision-making influences. Again, big difference.
Jordan was never given that. In fact, Jordan was in for the second three-peat, they were in a shit situation, because you go to that 97-98 season, Jerry Krause didn't even want Phil Jackson back.
No.
It was Reinsdorf who had to broker it in a way where he's like, listen, I think we could win another one with this team, and I think we owe it to the city to do that. And Jerry Krause was like, okay, fine. And then they even wanted to, and this is where Phil Jackson needs to be given all the credit in the world. They were willing to bring Phil Jackson back, but he did not want to be part of a rebuild. He admitted it. He said, I don't want to be part of a rebuild. This is Jerry's plan. I'm not going to be part of it. So I'm not going to throw a wrench in the plan. I will walk away. No hard feelings, whatever it is. If you think about it, if they decided to bring everyone back, and Jordan makes a very good point, they could have had a 4-peat, because he said, would Scotty have signed a 1-year deal? Probably. You probably would have had to negotiate money, but Scotty would have did it. Kukoc would have came back on a 1 year. All the Judd Bushlers of the world all would have came back on 1-year deals, because no other team was going to sign guys like Bushler or sign guys like Bill Wellington and Luke Long.
Greg Hodges.
Yeah, nobody's going to
sign. The guy who won a shitload of 3-point contests,
Bill
nobody
was going to sign these guys. So, I think they could have won 4. They could have won 4 straight, but Jerry Krause wanted to be the villain and got his way, and now the Bulls have been irrelevant for fucking 3 decades. Let's call it what it is. And I mean, look, LeBron's been a player coach everywhere he's been except Miami. I mean, let's be real. This has started in his first stint in Cleveland.
He tried. He tried, bro. We made it. He was doing his LeBron antics. Remember when they first got off the bad start of the season and stuff like that? He was saying Eric Spoelstra is not the guy. And that's when Pat Riley was like, yo, don't worry about it, man.
Eric Spoelstra, to me, I said it the other day, and I will stand by this, and I will die on this hill. Eric Spoelstra is today's Phil Jackson, just without all the championships.
Without having, exactly.
It's different. You don't know basketball.
Nope.
Stick to playing fucking Dungeons and Dragons and just shut the fuck up.
Because what he's done with that Heat team, I mean, the fact that you had Jimmy Butler that took you to 2 championships, I mean, even though you didn't win it, and I guess one of them was the bubble, but the last year, that was an impeccable run after he lost all his players, Jordan, Wade, Bosh, they still made the playoffs. They still competitive. And again, look, I would love for him to get a transcendent player, man. So he could go out there and win a couple of more championships because he is one of the best basketball minds and probably leaders that's ever faced the court. You know what I'm saying? On the sidelines. All right. I mean, this is a dude that was fucking cutting film.
Yeah.
So, but hey, that's what the leaders do, man. They find other leaders. That's what Pat Riley is so good at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, all right, Jim, we're 99 to 100, 423 left here in the fourth. Heartbreaker. I can't watch this. Knicks. I mean, the Knicks pulled this off, bro. I would like. I mean, it's a testament to the future is so bright for New York, man. Let's keep building this correctly. Let's keep bringing the same pieces. Because look, there's 3 guys, man, off the damn bench, dude. All right, playing today. It's fun to watch, man. It's a lot of heart, and it's a shame that we lose this series because of injuries. That'll suck, but I think we're gonna win the series anyway. I think OG Anunoby is just probably they want to make sure that he's hurt, but he's probably gonna come back. And it's just going into the Boston series banged up is what sucks the most. Because I would love to give it to Boston at 100%, man. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we could shut the fuck Boston off, bro.
Then again, the way Boston played last night against Cleveland. I mean, listen, look at that Cleveland Cavalier team, and look at the hell LeBron left it in, and look what it is now.
Yeah, back-to-back playoff seasons.
I'll tell you right now, because LeBron can opt out of his deal with the Lakers now. So let's say
he's not going to do it though.
So let's say he doesn't. Here's how he would get his next championship. He would have to play with Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen.
Bro,
that's how again, because he would go back to Cleveland just to do it again. And you know what would happen again? Let's say they win it. They'll give LeBron all the credit. Doesn't matter what Donovan Mitchell did. Doesn't matter what this guy did or what this guy did. It was all LeBron. Everyone hopped on his fucking super ego cape, and he won it. He won it again for the city of Cleveland. He didn't win it the first time for Cleveland. I hate to tell you that. I'll say it again. Look, people may not. I think the reason why people don't want to give Kyrie the credit is because of his.
It takes
but put that to the side and let's just keep it at the NBA level. Give that man his fucking credit because he deserves it.
But also, they don't give him his credit because he takes away from LeBron's legacy.
Fuck his legacy.
Fuck his legacy. Bro, everybody wants him to be the GOAT, man. It's like one of those things in today's world, man. Everybody wants him to be the GOAT.
It's funny because I got asked, do you think this debate ever ends? The saddest part is that I think everybody wants it to end. The issue is that it will never end because we could be far removed from this earth at any point, and you'll have these kids today still debating it, and thank God I won't be here for it because it'll probably be so fucking asinine that they'll be like, oh, LeBron was the greatest ever. Fucking everyone flocked to Jordan. It'll be like the role reversal. And it's like, no, hold on. Let me hold on. Let me climb fucking 6 feet of dirt, skin and bone, and fucking educate you real quick from the fucking grave. And let me tell you why Michael Jordan is so much better.
This is what I think about these kids nowadays who have no idea what the fuck they're talking about and are forcing. This is what I think about all the brown sexuals. Ready?
Go home and smoke some more crack.
You know what I think? I think they
go home and smoke some more crack.
They all came out feet first with the umbilical cord around their throat and lacked oxygen to the fucking brain. Those are the LeBron sexuals. I'm sorry, you can't tell old school NBA watchers like me, you, my buddy Sal I went to high school with. Everyone will tell you Jordan's the best to ever do it. So, like, in 9 out of 15 seasons, Jordan played every game. LeBron has done it once. And then you have these people on TikTok that are commenting on, because I put I put the link to the episode on there, and I used a picture of Jordan, and then how many times each guy has played, whatever. First off, if my discussion is about Jordan, LeBron, I don't need Karl Malone put into the equation or John Stockton because it doesn't involve them. Like it involves Jordan and LeBron. Jordan played 9 seasons, 82 games, and he did it at 38 years old. On top of that, in Washington. Okay? That's one. You know how many times LeBron has done that? Your precious LeBron has done it once. One time. One time. He's played 82 games. One fucking time. Why? Because you young generation NBA fans watch the most pussified, self-entitled league I have ever set my eyes on. Okay? And you have this bullshit called load management. Did you ever hear a load management? You know, Scottie fucking Pippen has more fucking testicular fortitude in half a nutsack than LeBron has. You want to know why? We all remember the Utah series, right?
Yep.
When he had to keep going to the locker room to get back treatment and kept coming out every 5 to 10 minutes, played, took him out, and went back to get back treatment because he wanted to contribute to winning. You don't see LeBron doing that. The minute LeBron, chips a nail on his pinky, oh, I got to go to the locker room. I'm hurt. I'm going to be out for 2 weeks. Bitch, man up.
The only load management those guys had back in the day is banging less hoes during the playoffs because they needed their energy. You know what I'm saying, dude? That was the only load management the team would. Hey, guys, it's not the regular season. All right, keep it down to one chick every night. Okay, none of this crazy ass shit.
I would love. Rodman. Oh God, Dennis Rodman. What I would love, honestly, I think this is how the GOAT debate should really end. Is you have Charles Barkley, Reggie Miller, Magic Johnson. I'll even put Isaiah Thomas in this. Isaiah Thomas on one side of the table, lobbying for Jordan. Who's going to be sitting on the other side of the table lobbying for LeBron? Bronny Jr.?
No, you have what's this guy that holds LeBron's nuts in his mouth? He goes on First Take a lot. But JJ Redick is a fan of LeBron.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and then you also have
each other, and then they have a fucking vent podcast now where LeBron's like, oh well,
exactly. And then what about the other guy that played for the Celtics for a long time, Kendrick Perkins? He's another big LeBron advocate.
He's a fucking douche.
Because they played in the same year in high school and that kind of shit. The guy's an idiot too. The things that the differences between the guys that support LeBron today are all hot takers. The people that support MJ are actual common sense, knowledgeable NBA folks. You know what I mean, dude? So that's a big difference.
And they got to play against him.
All their GOATs are telling me he's the GOAT. There's not a single GOAT. All right. I don't see Dirk Nowitzki calling LeBron James the greatest of all time. All right. Who, by the way, Dirk Nowitzki fucked him up in that Miami series. All right. I don't think I see Steph calling him the greatest of all time. All right. Here's the thing. Because again, the dominance that Jordan had, no other player has ever had. And that's a huge part of being called the greatest of all time. When you dominate, when you eat and everybody else starves. All right.
It's the same thing. Like if you like even in hockey, who was the greatest hockey player ever? Was it Mario Lemieux or Wayne Gretzky?
Wayne Gretzky to me, and I don't even watch hockey.
I mean, you can have that debate forever, but clearly there's a reason why Wayne Gretzky is labeled the great one. Yep. There's a reason why Michael Jordan is labeled the GOAT. There's a reason why people anoint Tom Brady the GOAT. Yep. There's a reason why, in baseball, I mean, there's so many that you can call a GOAT, but you have these people you have LeBron anointing himself the GOAT, and then everyone's like, oh, yeah, bro, you're the GOAT, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, if LeBron, I'm trying to figure out how to word this without really pissing people off. If LeBron was like this in the Jordan era, dude, LeBron would have gotten his ass beat by Charles Barkley in a New York fucking minute.
That's the thing.
Shaquille O'Neal.
That's the difference.
Played against Jordan. He played against LeBron and played with LeBron. You know who Shaq said the greatest of all time is?
MJ.
He didn't say LeBron.
Nope.
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 I honestly think in the back of LeBron's mind, he has to have some common sense. And what I think in the back of his mind, he really knows no matter what he does, he can never escape Michael Jordan.
No.
Like, you wanted to wear 23. Like, everybody wanted to wear the number 23 because of Michael Jordan. Nobody wants to wear 23 because of fucking LeBron James.
He keeps coming back to 23, by the way. Also, jersey swaps, you know what I mean, dude? Because he wants to. He's trying to, like, use everything he can in his power on and off the court, earnings, right? Success.
Even did the same movie Michael Jordan did. And Michael Jordan's Space Jam was better.
Well, if it sold more fucking more tickets than this one did, you got better reviews than this one did. You know what I mean?
Like,
and that's with a pedophile as your soundtrack. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Well, not only that, LeBron's involved in the Diddy shit too because he was at the party. So it's only a matter of time before that comes out. But
he's been out with a few.
And it's not to say that Jordan didn't have indiscretions in his playing days because he sure as hell did. But here's the thing. He openly admitted to, I like gambling.
Yep.
Yeah, I like to gamble. And I lost a lot of money doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But he took accountability for that.
He did. He never said he didn't.
Somebody asked me to go, okay, so if LeBron did the same thing Jordan did, would you be ridiculing LeBron? I said, well, that depends. In the hypothetical sense of which you're speaking, does LeBron in an interview take accountability, or does he say, oh, well, I've been around gambling my whole life, so I've been enabled by it? And try to pass the blame to somebody else like he always does. Because if you do that, then yes, you're going to get criticized.
When he loses, it's somebody else's fault. When he wins, it was all me.
Yeah, and that's something like every time the Bulls won a championship, Jordan always said, we played great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we as a team came together. And if you notice before every game they showed on The Last Dance, he said, let's go out there and we all leave it on the floor. LeBron probably says, let's go out there. You guys leave it on the floor and I'll just take all the credit.
It's like he said, there's nothing he demanded from his teammates that he never did himself.
Exactly. And that's why, like, people criticize Jordan in a way like, you know, he bullied us. Yeah, but he did it to motivate you. He did it because if he take it to another level, he expected you to take it to another level. Like, he tried to elevate everyone to his level. LeBron doesn't do that. I'm sorry. And if you think he does, you are wrong. You are so fucking wrong. He doesn't.
Bro, you okay. Remember, man, we're talking about a different era where nobody nowadays likes to get criticized, even if it's constructive. All right, because they all get butthurt, and now you're becoming toxic. No, I'm not, you lazy bastard. I'm not toxic. I'm keeping it how it is, and this is what you need to do to get better. All right, and sometimes getting better means getting feelings hurt. Yeah. Facts do not have feelings, my friend.
I have some advice to LeBron. He's probably watching because he ain't in the playoffs.
Cancun, baby. Well, he's not even in Cancun anymore. He's probably hanging out with Diddy.
If I was LeBron, you know what I would do? I would take all this that's being said about you. I would let it fire me up to no end. And you know how you shut everybody up next year? You go out there and you're dominant in every fucking game you play. Put the team on your back, take accountability, change the fucking narrative. You do that, then maybe some of the criticism of you will go away. But until you do that, this criticism will always be there. And again, if the LeBron sexuals don't like it, oh, well, off is the direction of which you could fuck. And if you don't like that, I got 2 words for you.
Suck it. Big 3 by Jalen Brunson, baby. JB, the great. It was down 106 to 103. Fucking guy, man.
You know what Jalen Brunson just said? Fuck the big 3.
That's right.
The big 2.
Exactly. Holy smokes. I got to put this on my phone, even though it's probably going to be delayed. But oh shit, Jim, we are heading into 1 minute left here, not even. Tie game. Jalen Bronson hit that big three. Man, it's gonna be delayed. 41 seconds left.
You know what I loved when Josh Hart went up to Reggie Miller? He goes,
Yeah.
I think they're chanting "Fuck you, Reggie."
Oh man, look at this fucking damn it. I'd rather watch it. Big three here by Miles Turner. Damn
Nobody.
it, man. 16 and a half seconds down by 3. Man, I wish we had a full team, man. If we had a full team, man, this game would have been fucking over.
You wanna know what's sad? Is the kids today will never know how rough that rivalry really was with the Pacers and the Knicks. Miller giving the choke signal to Spike Lee there was so many iconic moments in our day of the Knicks Pacers series that these young kids don't know about and probably wish they could have watched as it happened. I remember watching Reggie Miller do this, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
That was another great player, bro. That did not win a damn championship because of Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
I mean that dude.
You know, speaking of that, top 5 guys who should have won a championship and didn't because of Michael Jordan. Ready? Reggie Miller, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone, John Stockton, and
well, you got to put Patrick in there too because he was the top 5 center.
And Patrick Ewing.
And then hold on a second. And those are the top guys, right? Hall of Famers. You still have individuals in that list that were really great players, right?
Gary Kemp.
Yes, Gary won it later on when Jordan was way retired. But Sean Kemp, Gary Payton, right? Brad Daugherty. These are guys that were just fucking studs, right? They were all over the MVP talk. I mean, there was a lot of good players, man. I mean, it's crazy, bro. You have a lot of Hall of Famers. There's more in the list that are coming up to mind that should have had chips. And when you look at the era where LeBron has played, and you know what, I'm going to take away the last 5 years. But before that, Dirk won. Duncan won it multiple times. Again, during when he was like in his prime, young LeBron. All right. Apart from the Golden State Warriors won it as well. The Lakers won it as well a few times. The Celtics won it. All right. There was a lot of players, man, top dogs that won championships. There was not a single top dog that was not named Michael Jordan that could not get a hold of that damn chip. Fortunately, Jim, we're going to lose this game.
This is the other thing that has come up lately, and it's in the comment box that I feel needs to stop. I respect Anthony Edwards' game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like the kid.
You cannot compare him to Michael Jordan. You just can't, because the only way you could do that is if the Timberwolves do exactly what the Bulls did. And he replicates everything Jordan does, that in 6 years we could have that discussion. You cannot have it right now. Yeah, Anthony Edwards does talk a lot, and that's what Reggie Miller did too. So you want to compare him to somebody, compare him to fucking Reggie Miller.
That's a great Ravery Sports, great comparison. I think Anthony Edwards is special, right? And he has that it factor, right? I love the way the kid plays. Athleticism to no end, but yeah, it's disrespectful to compare him to Michael Jordan. So. And I guess, Jim, listen, we're gonna I guess both agree, and I think the chat and everybody that's probably watching might be agreeing with us as well. We'll see when I start posting the shorts on YouTube and TikTok how many little bitches we're gonna probably.
Trust me.
But there was only one. There's only one great player. All right, there's only one great player in this league. And look, I'm gonna go as far as even be more generous than you, Jim. I'll give LeBron the number 2 spot, but the number 1 spot, the GOAT, is always gonna.
Greatest of all time. Greatest of all time. Don't cross that line. Go.
Right there, bro.
I can't give it to LeBron at number 2 because he hasn't even done things Kobe's done.
Kobe's was nasty.
That's why I put Kobe. Let's put it this way. LeBron tweaks his ankle. He runs off and hides. Kobe Bryant tears his fucking Achilles and goes out there and shoots 2 meaningful, impactful fucking free throws.
I know.
Okay? The fact that people do not put Kobe in the discussion
is ludicrous.
it boggles the mind. Like, so all you fucktards at ESPN, the Max Kellermans, the fucking Nick Wrights of the world, the fucking Swagoos, the fucking whatever, the Kendrick Perkins of the world. You guys want to lobby for LeBron? Here's an idea, you dumb shits. Because, see, here's why I can never work at ESPN, because I would educate these idiots real quick. Okay?
No, you could have worked at ESPN because they'll probably fire you for being too insensitive.
Yeah, exactly. Be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't call you Kendrick. I called you Drake's bitch. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's
like, but it's like,
because you're too factual. You'll be spitting facts, and they get offended by facts.
You know what it is? Because I got this message the other day, so it kind of ties into it. They're like, I don't like your takes on it because you're too real about it. Isn't that what the fuck you want?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Maybe it's, I kind of feel in my take of sports, I'm like the Paul Heyman of sports in a way. And it's not to there's people that are real about it too. Don't get me wrong. But I feel that I'm like Paul Heyman because I'm not afraid to say it. And I'm not talking about WWE Paul Heyman. I'm talking about CW.
The real Paul Heyman, the one who actually made an impact that actually made WWE shake in his boots more than fucking WCW, because he actually did something new that wasn't done before.
Here, you want to know what? LeBron falls to 4. Paul Heyman didn't even play basketball. He's the greatest of all fucking time at number 3. How about that?
It could be debatable. Look, Tim Duncan did it. Tim Duncan can be in that conversation,
But it's
and Steph wins another championship. You can put Steph in the conversation as well because he also changed the game.
Well, that was something that kind of came out, and I think it was on the LeBron JJ Redick podcast. And this is something that I'll give LeBron credit for. He goes, you guys give credit to Steph Curry for having like a 7-second shot clock where you just dribble, throw it up. He goes, Stan Van Gundy was doing that before Steph even came into the league. He's like, so you guys need to give Stan Van Gundy his credit. I was surprised LeBron gave anybody else credit. I thought LeBron would have been like, hey, I created that. But, I mean, I don't get how you listen to a sports podcast and want a fake version of it. You don't want to hear a real version of it?
That's a good take by Ravery right here. Sports. Attitude Era was stolen from Paul Heyman. I think he started the Attitude Era. You know what I mean? And because he didn't have...
Well, then again, a lot of things were stolen from Paul Heyman. You know what? Here, look. We'll get off NBA for a minute, and we'll go into something else that I know a lot about. So when WCW started getting big, all the luchadors that came over, the Eddie Guerreros, the Rey Mysterios, Psychosis, all these guys were stolen from Paul Heyman in ECW.
Yep, they all went to WCW.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's gimmick, it was starting in ECW. Vince steals him, and then I'm going to make him the ringmaster. Fuck that. Yeah. Fuck that. A lot of things are stolen from Paul Heyman. A lot.
Dude, I remember going to the Queen's Hall.
Yep.
All right, that's where he held his shit. And I remember when my buddy told me, I went with my buddy Ken. Shout out to my buddy Ken back in high school. He told me about it, and he went to a show. He was telling me everything about it. Like, oh crap, I got to get myself in there. And back then you could get tickets. You know what I mean? It was one of those things. It was backyard. It was backyard wrestling pretty much, but an actual effing hall, bro. And you go out there, and I'm watching this with my brother and cousins, and you can see chairs flying all over the damn place, bro. It was wild, man. I mean, Paul Heyman was special. It was the reason why they went ahead and they wanted him.
A lot of these guys that are in the WWE Hall of Fame, Rob Van Dam, the Dudley Boys.
Yep.
Prime examples. Where did they originate? In a little bingo hall in South Philly, known as the ECW Arena. And who found them? Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman used to cut and net everything from his house.
Yeah.
It was definitely a whole operation from his house. So. All right, let's look at off the Knicks subject here real quick. Shout out to the Knicks, man. Let's do a quick recap. 111-106. Again, it pissed me off. We've had OG Anunoby in this game. Shout out to the Knicks. They gave it their all. 106 points. They had the lead for most of the, up and up the game, but under man, and they still they still gave it all, man. We almost went up 3-0 here. So,
Yeah. I mean,
hope we get healthy.
For the injuries to put in that much of a fight, I'll give the Knicks credit for that.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew the
crappy.
Pacers. You knew the Pacers were going to win one at some point. I mean, if you're a Knicks fan that thought you were going to sweep the series,
no, not the Pacers.
You're not going to. I mean, I'm not a Knicks fan. I'd rather see the Knicks beat the Pacers than the Pacers beat the Knicks because you want to see. Listen, I'm in New York, so I want to see a New York team win the NBA Finals. I mean, the Bulls will never be in it again because they'll never have Michael Jordan again.
Nope.
But I mean, it's time for the Knicks to be relevant for more than just a year.
Because the NBA is better when the Knicks are relevant.
And they're doing it more now. Like, nobody wanted to go to the Knicks when they were miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, now they've kind of made it a free agent destination again. Mm-hmm. So maybe now, like when certain guys become free agents, it's like, hey, hey, I'd rather play in Manhattan than play in Brooklyn.
Nobody wants
to go to Brooklyn now because Brooklyn tried what Boston did and failed.
Mm-hmm.
You went and got the big three, and Rondo, Pierce, and Garnett. They won it together in Boston, and you tried to replicate that in Brooklyn, and they were already older, and it didn't work. And they tried to replace it with the Blake Griffins of the world and the Jeff Greens and this guy and Kyrie.
Kyrie, Harden, and Kevin Durant, and they still failed.
And it still didn't work. I mean,
hey, dude, listen, buddy. MSG, Madison Square Garden, is the mecca. All right, it's always been. Even though we hopefully won like one fucking championship, we are considered blue bloods, all right, of the NBA. And I'm gonna tell you right now, nobody came to play after the Patrick Ewing era, the Spreewell era. Last time we were kind of relevant. Even when Carmelo Anthony came here, nobody wanted to come and play with Carmelo. So we've had a shit show for a very, very long time. And watching this team play, the tenacity, the way they play defense, the clutch shots, it brings you back to when we were competitive and we were always competing with the Bulls because, again, we didn't win because the damn Bulls were there and a guy named Michael Jordan. That's how we end this segment.
But you want to know what, though? They fucking played. The Knicks.
Dude.
The Knicks always, every time, any Eastern Conference final that involved the Knicks, I'll be honest, as a Bulls fan, I was like, this could be the year that Jordan doesn't get it done.
Bro, remember that one year that we went up 2-0? We had the best team in the East. And somebody decided to piss Jordan off by kept saying that he's not putting 100% effort because he was gambling in Foxwoods or whatever the night before. That pissed Jordan to no end, and we lost the next 4 games. That was the year of the dunk, bro. Remember the dunk? Starks with the dunk, baby?
That was the whole media putting it out there. Like, oh, that wasn't even anybody on the Knicks.
No,
that was the whole
friggin'.
And then that's when Jordan shut the whole media out. Like, all right, I'm not going to talk to the media. Fuck you.
That's why I said somebody pissed him off, man.
Yeah, like the media is like, oh well, And meanwhile, like he went at 12 o'clock in the afternoon and got home at midnight. Then went out the next night and put up like 40 plus. I mean, nobody ever learned, not even the media learned, you do not say anything to piss this man off because he will use it. He will take it to a new level and embarrass you. And that's something that LeBron has never, can never, and will never do.
I'm down with that, brother. All right, let's move on to some Yankee baseball, brother. What do you think? Some Yankee baseball, man. We didn't speak any the last time we were here, and now with that being said, since today I'm not my sharp sell again. Your boy's still trying to recover from Vegas, but let's do a little Bronx cheer.
He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant. Holy cow! Chris Chambliss on one swing.
Yankees win. The Yankees win. The New York Yankees have won the 1996 World Series.
Driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya.
Ball game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
So, Jim, we went through a little rough patch when we played Baltimore. We took one game in there, and this is the last time we played. But again, the Yankees are still doing what they're supposed to be doing. Pitching is still holding up, considering bats are waking up. Like I told people, I think you and I might have said this. Anybody that looks at what Judge does in April as opposed to what he does in May, you haven't been watching baseball or this guy's career, okay? Because he's a predominantly habitual slow starter in April, and he just takes every time May gets hot, gets hotter in June, gets hotter in April. You know what I mean? If he doesn't get hurt, this guy just gets hotter and hotter as the year progresses. So it's
that even Stanton's fucking hitting, which surprising me. What's really surprising me the most is that we have the lowest bullpen ERA. I think 2.27 it was last I checked.
There's something around the same neighborhood.
Clay
Holmes. Oh man,
Clay Holmes, for as much of a heart, much as you have heart computations watching this man pitch, has a 0 ERA.
Unreal, man.
That is something that not even Mariano did in his career to start off the season. And listen, before anybody says, here we go, we're
not calling him Mariano, bro. Yeah.
Nobody will ever be Michael Jordan. Nobody will ever be Wayne Gretzky. Nobody will ever be Cal Ripken Jr. No closing pitcher will ever come close to Mariano.
Nobody. That's going to be one of those,
Don't tell me fucking Edwin Diaz is, because fuck no. And listen, Edwin Diaz is a decent closer, but he's not Mariano.
Just like
Mariano is the GOAT of closers.
Just like the Yankees haven't been able to replace Mariano. And we tried. We brought in a rocket arm in Chapman, right? But nowhere near. Couldn't carry the effing jock straps, all right? So let's go look at some of the numbers. Talking about the pitching, right? Smith right now, Clark Smith has been a nice surprise, right? I mean, I know he goes up and down throughout the season, 2.95 ERA. Buckles were, like you said, 12 saves in the season. Let's take a look. Look, Nestor Cortez, man. I mean, he is giving us what he's supposed to give us, right?
Yeah.
Looking at all these ERAs, starting ERAs, man. Jeez, dude. You can't really complain about this, man. 3.72 by Cortez, Rondon 3.56, Stroman 3.80, and he's been hurt up and down. Clark Schmidt, I mean, Luis Gil, bro. You know what I'm saying, dude? It's like all of a sudden 37, a lot of innings pitched as well, right? 48 innings, 43 innings. Can't complain there, man. And like you said, the bullpen has been insane.
Yeah,
I mean, Holmes has pitched 17 games, 18 innings. All right, 16 hits. Am I looking at the right stuff? Hold on a second. Let me just go back over here because my eyes are bad because I haven't had any sleep. Yeah, 17 innings. Has given up like 12 hits. It's crazy. This guy haven't given up a run yet. It's 12 saves. And this is, I hope, I could wish we could get Cole back, right? I don't want to force him. But if we make a move, and of course, with nobody getting injured, for a starting pitcher, somebody that can help us out, a big bang. Listen, I think the Yankees are not to fuck with. I know it's early. It's only May. But so far, we're doing a lot with a very, what I like to call a bunch of dishwashers in our starting rotation.
I'm honestly surprised for it. I think if Brent was on with us right now, he'd probably have the same assessment where pitching without Cole was going to be the weakest spot, where it would do just enough to keep you afloat till Cole came back. But the fact that last I checked, we were like a half game out of first for this series. Well, before they took 3 out of 4 from Houston, or 2 out of 3, whatever the series was. And nobody's even talking about that, how Houston has just fallen off. Now the debate is this. So if Houston just decides by the All-Star break, assuming they don't go on this like historic run and just
They're
run
not.
the table to everybody, which they probably won't do.
They won't.
If they were to make almost every player available, would the Yankees consider going after Jose Altuve if you're going to lose Gleyber Torres in free agency? I honestly, I can't stand the fucking guy.
But come on, man. We signed Wade Boggs and Roger Clemens, bro. Okay, so
you can tell me that we've never done this before.
Yeah.
Wade Boggs, Roger Clemens,
yeah.
Johnny Damon, Jacoby Ellsbury.
Hey, well, I'll take him, dude. Hey, when it comes to winning, I don't give a damn.
Randy Johnson. If the guy's gonna come here, if a guy's gonna come here from a team that cheated, like the Astros, and he's gonna help you win a championship, you'd be a fool to say no.
I would have taken Kurt Schilling if they would have fucking traded him here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I honestly, when Carlos Correa was a free agent, I was kind of on the fence. I was like, I don't know if I want any part of it. The injuries, this, that.
Yeah, the injuries. Yeah.
That's the only thing that would have deterred me from it. If he was healthier and they were able to get a deal done with him, yeah, I would have taken Carlos Correa.
Altuve is different, though. Altuve is still playing at a high level. You know what I mean? In a bad team.
I mean, even if Alex Bregman is made available, would you take him to play third base?
Yeah.
You, again, I think we're at a point where I think we'll never escape the Astros cheating. But I think enough time has passed where you can put it to the side. And when it comes to if they are going to be sellers, like if they're going to be sellers, if Verlander's available,
I'll jump on that for the year. Yeah.
Bring Verlander to the Bronx. He would be a good 3 or a 4 because you're going to have Cole at 1. Yeah. You're going to put Rodon at 2.
But even right now,
3.
There's a risk that we might even get Cole. Right? I would shoot for that. I would trade. All right.
You know what I would do? I would do it now, even.
Yeah, exactly. I would have that mindset right now in the front office that we need that so we could get to the playoffs and be successful in the playoffs. That's my mindset, whether Cole comes or not. If we do this and Garrett Cole is cleared, guess what, my man? We actually made our team 100 times better. So that's the mentality I would have. Everything else would be gravy. You know what I'm saying? Over the top.
Yeah. The thing with this Yankee team is, like, and because a buddy of mine was like, oh, don't worry, we got Soto. We can win it all. Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Juan Soto, and I hate to say, will eventually go on a bit of a cold streak. Because every great player, every good player, every talented player, it happens. Juan Soto don't pitch. So Juan Soto's not going to win you every fucking game.
No. We've been there, Jim. We've been there with the hitting and no pitching. We've been there.
And the thing is like everyone's like, look at how great Soto's playing. Everybody plays great in a contract year. Judge did it. Stanton did it. Soto's doing it. Justin Verlander did it. Jacob deGrom did it. Bobby Bonilla has done it. Barry Bonds has done it. Mark McGwire. Every person who's ever gotten a big contract has gotten it because they had a great last year of their original contract. So let's not act like it's never happened, because it happens all the fucking time.
But in addition to your contract take, we traded for the guy and gave up for the guy. So for him to do this kind of shit, right? We didn't trade for him to, not do this. This is the intention that we had. So yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is. Whether he's in there because that's what we anticipated, that's what we gave up for him to do. So the hell, man, you know what I mean? That's just a given. The pitching is where, like you said, he doesn't pitch, so therefore you still need to reinforce that. Dude, it's a long freaking season, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a long season.
You gotta think about it like this. You gotta be a realistic fan, whether you're a Met fan, Yankee fan, really doesn't matter. 162 games. You see Mets fans complain about their team all the time. Here's the thing, and I'll say it again, because I even tell this guy, one of the guys at work that works for me, he's a Met fan, and he'll complain when the Mets lose. I'm like, listen, your owner came out and said these exact words. This is a wash year. Like, they didn't go crazy in free agency because they're waiting for the 2025 free agent class. That's then when they're going to go heavy, and they're going to sign whoever they could possibly get. That's when Soto's a free agent. And listen, if the Yankees are smart, you got to be working an extension.
Mhm.
As we're doing this show, Brian Cashman, you fucking bald-headed garden gnome looking fuck. You need to be working an extension. Not like literally just have Hal sign a check, leave it in his locker with a post-it on it says, you put the number you want. Let's get it. Put $1 billion. I don't give a shit. If I got to go to a Yankee game and pay $45 for a fucking tall boy, I'm going to fucking do it.
How much is a tall boy now in the Yankee Stadium? And I haven't been there in a minute.
Depends what you get. If you get like a Bud Light, it's like $18. You get like a Heineken, it's like north of 20.
It's kind of it's like that everywhere, bro.
If you get the Blue Point pinstripe beer, it's like 20. I mean, the prices are ridiculous, but
no, listen, it's like that everywhere. Look, South Florida, they don't fucking sell any single games. People just come to watch because they're like, there's a great stadium, but we don't even sell out right here for the Marlins. And the beers are $18, 18, 20.
Right now, the Yankees are playing in Tampa, right?
Yeah.
This will be the only time you see it almost sold out.
Yep.
Where it's actually a away home game for the Yankees.
Anything in Florida.
And the fact that they're talking about Tampa getting a new stadium. Why? Just move the fucking team to Montreal and just make them the Expos again and call it a fucking day. Nobody wants to go see the Tampa Bay Rays play because, and it's the same thing with the Marlins. You put these stadiums in shit areas where there's nothing really else around it, from what I'm told. I mean, you know more because you live down there.
It's the stadium. The problem is that baseball is not a big thing down here. You know what I'm saying?
No,
it's not.
It never really has been. I mean, people in Florida, it's more. They're about the Dolphins.
The Dolphins first.
The Hurricanes, Florida Gators, Florida State Seminoles. It's not about the Marlins and the Tampa Bay Rays. I mean,
even the Heat. The Heat are secondary to football.
I mean, I guess you could say the Florida Panthers in hockey only because now they're relevant and successful.
Yeah, that's the only reason now. Yeah, exactly.
But other than that, it's always been football down there. It's
Yeah, and again, and everybody thought, and I'm shocked, right? We have a very large population, Cuban. South America. A lot of people that watch baseball, but it's one of those things that, I like watching baseball, but not going to the stadium. It's one of those things, man. And it's not like the Marlins. The Marlins haven't been successful. They have. They won 2 championships in a shorter period amount of time. So, go ahead.
It's like when people say that, like I've obviously watched more on TV than I've actually been to a stadium, and those who don't like going to a game, I'm actually curious as to why, because it's actually it's fun because it's like you're amongst people you've never known before, and then those discussions get had, like kind of like what we do here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, what'd you think of this signing? And you're getting everybody's opinion. Like it's actually fun. I mean, then you get the douchebags, especially in a Red Sox Yankee series, and then there's fights in the bleacher creature section and NYPD.
Yeah, but that was still kind of. That was still a good time as well, because you're kind of you're talking back and forth and proving your point on each team. You got the drunks, but that's a different story.
But me, I like going to the games because it actually keeps me awake. Because if I got to listen to a boring broadcast, and it doesn't even have to be Yankees, like ESPN, I'm sorry, Carl Ravage, Eduardo Perez, their saving grace is having David Cohn there. David Cohn saves the broadcast. Because me watching it with just those two last year, this was me by the second inning.
David Cohn is killing it, absolutely killing it. What's your biggest surprise apart from the pitching right now? Name a player, Jim, that you think has gone above, and I think I may know has exceeded your expectations up to this point in the season.
You could say more than one.
Yeah, because I think Stanton is one of those guys, right?
Stanton's one. Volpe's fielding has been iffy, but him at the plate, he's been more patient.
Yep, much better, much better.
And I'll be honest, Oswaldo Cabrera.
Yeah, I like Oswaldo Cabrera also as well. Yep.
I mean, he's another guy you could play at third, short, second. I mean, you could move him around the infield in those 3 positions, and you could spell Glaber for a day.
Yep.
And I'm surprised because this is a big year for Glaber, where he should be having a better year than what he's having.
He's struggling, bro.
Yeah, and listen, if he wants to stay in the Bronx, he may be staying here on the cheap, because I don't see a lot of teams saying, Oh, hey, we'll give you 5 years at 160 million.
No,
You'd be lucky even hit 60 million with the way he's playing right now.
If you look at his numbers, bro, he's declined the last 2 years, which is the wrong time to fucking decline. You know what I mean? It's the wrong time to decline.
Yeah, that happens.
Absolutely. But no, wait, listen, Jim, we're in second half a game out, right? Had a good performance today, 2-0. We're winning some tough games. The fact that I like is that, yeah, we're beating the bad teams, but we're also, apart from Baltimore, we're beating some good, solid teams. You know what I'm saying, dude? Look at our division, dude, all right? You got Baltimore 25-12. We got 26-14. We're half a game out. Boston is 19-19. Boston has surprised some people. Tampa Bay 19-20. Toronto 17-21. Our division, like every year, man, it's not a walk in the park. You know what I'm saying, dude? It's always tough teams, even if they don't make it to the playoffs. They're tough outs, man. When you compare, the Central, right, where you have you got Minnesota, you got 3 teams that are playing well, and then you got the Chicago White Sox, right? When you go to the West, the Texas Rangers and the Seattle Mariners, and then Oakland, Houston, the Angels, right? When you look at that in the American League, I mean, we're always going to have the tougher competition. We have every team in there has marquee and superstar players. You know what I'm saying? So
for me, with the AL East, I wouldn't say, obviously Baltimore has improved. So you got to give them credit there for being below mid for how long?
This has been a work in progress now for the last 7 or 8 years, right? So it's their time.
They called up the young kids at the right time last year. It all clicked. Toronto, I'm really surprised
that they are doing a spend.
That they're not that they're not where they really should be. A part of that is their pitching is it's inconsistent. But here's the thing. And it's the question that's been asked, is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. the guy that's going to catapult this team to the next level? And you think about it, you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., whose father is a Hall of Famer. You have Gavin Biggio, whose father is a Hall of Famer. Okay? You have Bo Bichette, whose father, played...
Was a hell of a player.
Who played, I'm sorry, in a stadium that gives you an unfair advantage.
Yeah, but he was a good player.
You have these guys paired up together. And then you have veteran leadership like George Springer, and you have Kevin Kiermaier.
They have some, on paper, they're good. They should be better than what they are.
And that's the thing for Blue Jays fans that, there's never anything wrong with this team. On paper, you look great, but on the field, you're kind of telling us a different story. And I don't know if Vladimir Guerrero is that guy that gets you to the next level. I mean, if he goes to have the same career his father has, well, then hell, you're a Hall of Famer.
His father was nasty, dude.
Because, his father could hit a forkball thrown 30 feet out of the friggin' strike zone.
With no batting gloves on.
And smash it 450 feet.
No batting gloves on, bro. No batting gloves on. Doesn't matter if it was cold or hot. That dude was out there, man. Whether he played in LA or whether he played in Montreal, he was out there, man. He looked like he had a fucking axe.
And I think that's part, like when these kids come up and their dads were in the league, I think, honestly, there's a lot of pressure on them because it's like everybody looked at and they got to see this when they were kids. Like, everybody looked at my father this way, and I want to be like that, but better. That you put that pressure on you. And I think for Vladimir Guerrero, if he just says, I have to be me. Like if Gavin Biggio says, I'm not Craig Biggio, I'm Gavin Biggio. I just have to play my game. Bo Bichette, the same thing. Fernando Tatis Jr., the same thing.
Tatis has a fair advantage, though. His father was decent, but, wasn't.
But he's better, too.
Exactly.
He's the play out of the father-son duo.
Yeah.
He's the better, but no father-son duo will ever be as good as the Griffeys.
Absolutely.
And that's because Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah. and they play together.
Yeah. But I think Toronto should be better. I thought Boston would be where Toronto is. I expected Tampa to be where Boston is. And Boston be where Tampa is. And I expect it to be a dogfight with Baltimore this year.
I didn't expect Boston to be actually this good either, because they're also they have a retooling there.
You know what Boston's always been good at? They've always been good at developing guys in the minor leagues that could come up and play at a major league level. Like, if you think about it, Kevin Youkilis, Jason Varitek.
It's true.
If these guys didn't play in Boston,
no,
would you know who the fuck they are?
No. Well, we had guys like that. We had guys like that in our team. Jimmy Leyritz, right? You know, the one World Series. Charlie Hayes. Nobody knew who the fuck these guys were until the Yankees started winning. I mean, that's the thing about. I mean, you got to give Boston props as much as we are rivals. They are, again, blue bloods of this game. They are, royalty, and people know players from when it comes to baseball from there, New York. That's like, man, Chicago. Even when Chicago, people know Chicago more now, but back in the day they weren't winning. They just know that it's one of the oldest teams in the league, right? No disrespect to anybody in Chicago here, but it's definitely always been Boston, one of those teams like the Knicks that did not win much. No, they always won. They just never won the World Series. You know what I mean? But there were so many great players coming out of their organization that they were in the spotlight.
Like, think about a guy like David Ortiz.
Yeah.
If he played anywhere else, would he be Big Papi?
Dude, Johnny Damon wasn't, imagine him playing on a different team.
Well, Johnny Damon, the thing is, like for those who have seen Moneyball, so when Jonah Hill's doing that whole, Boston sees Johnny Damon as a $7.5 million a year player. When I look at Johnny Damon, I see a guy with good speed, hits decently, is a decent fielder, but isn't worth like $7.5 million. Like when you look at these guys and you look at what they get paid, some of them, it tells two different stories. Like us getting Johnny Damon, we got him and he was past his prime. But was he clutch for us when we needed it? Absolutely.
Yeah, he was. No, he was. He was. I would never bash that.
Jacoby Ellsbury wasn't, but
now we got damaged goods. You know what I mean? That was damaged goods.
You talk about Boston being royalty, but they've also made some royal mistakes. And you could go back to Babe Ruth.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the biggest fuck up, I think, in the history of any sport, man.
The owner sells him to what? Fun, like it was a
fun his show, fun his Broadway show.
To fund
the net. What was it?
The reason why I know what it was called was because if anybody's ever seen Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon,
exactly,
the one girl who gets her stomach stapled shut. She goes, we trade Babe Ruth so the owner could fund no net.
No net. I thought it was something with the net. I forgot the other no. It was like a bunch of ends.
Could you imagine doing that in today's game? Trading a guy because you want to fund a Broadway play? Get the fuck out.
Hey, who was the guy from the owners with the Ponzi scheme? You might have traded some players to money for that. So
yeah, the fucking Will Ponters. I call them the coupons with the way they ran that team. You know what?
They needed money for the Ponzi scheme, bro. You know what I'm saying? So they might have given up some contracts. Speaking
of the Mets and that whole situation, when they could have won World Series in those years, and you had the Dark Knight, okay?
You had studs.
You had guys on that team. You had David Wright is a guy who should have won multiple World Series. Like, that's a guy, even though he plays on a team I hate because of the rivalry.
He was like a Jeter. He was like their Jeter, bro. He gave it, he was that guy. He was that leader of the team. He was the guy that kept it together, man. And, man, it was just...
But you think about that, right? Oh, well, we can't spend in free agency. And then when the Ponzi scheme comes out, well, we didn't spend Met money. Bull fucking shit. Yeah. Because if you didn't spend Met money... You would have had money to build a World Series team, and you didn't have the money because it was in Madoff's bank account. Come on.
They needed to do that. They needed to say that and hide that because then that would have been a bigger crime. So,
and you want to know what's funny? You know what's funny?
Mm-hmm.
To coincide with the whole Ohtani thing, They didn't do anything to the Wilpons,
Nope.
and people think that Ohtani should be banned from baseball. Well, guess what? His interpreter is about to go to federal pound-me-in-the-ass penitentiary for 33 fucking years. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Are we allowed to discuss that? Or will World of Baseball block me now? Fuck you, World of Baseball, you cocksucking fucks.
MLB bastards. Oh man, but yeah, man, listen, the Yankees I think are doing awesome. I am happy where we're at, and we are gonna keep talking about the Yankees next time we jump on this as well. So it was last episode we didn't. We had Garris who spoke a lot of football in the draft, which that was a good time. But yeah, man, I said we're definitely gonna do some Yankee content every single time Cigars and Sports jumps on, man. So today we're gonna do Jim, and I got a surprise for you. All right, I know you and I. I told you though, it's guys. Is my I was one of those weeks of the unpreparedness because of the schedule and everything else. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I know we didn't have our predetermined douchebag or dumbass of the week. But I'm gonna play a clip for you because I'm gonna change your mind. And this has to do with the Steelers.
Oh,
we're gonna pick the dumbass and the douchebag of the week.
If this has to do what I think it has to do with, just play it, and then I'm just gonna. I hope it's this fat chubby face fuck.
It's not. It's somebody else that you don't expect it. The one guy that you expected it to say the take, the dumbass, the douchebag take, did not actually say it.
Because there is another one, and I'll delve into that after this.
No, but this one right here, we'll start with this one because I think I might catch you off guard. I saw this clip from, it's not even somebody famous. We got to give him a shout out, by the way. You know what I mean? When I pull him up, shout out to the account. We follow each other. His name is Colonel Celebrini. All right, at 2 Mini Hulk. We're gonna use his video, and honestly, I think this is pretty out there. Let me go ahead and.
Oh boy!
Let me go out here.
Oh boy! I might get more irate than I did during the Jordan LeBron.
You might. You're gonna get it right now. I don't know if you saw this or not. I don't know when this was done. I think it had to happen last week or something like that.
Fucking.
There you go.
It's gonna be this. Oh, this could be.
Wilson may not know this, but Mike Tomlin needs to win games this year. That offense between Warren and Harris, those receivers, that tight end. They addressed their offensive line, I thought, very smartly. They already have a good defense. I got to see 11, 12 wins here.
That's not happening.
This is a very good roster. I thought.
Wait, no, it gets better, man.
Draft. Then they get Russell Wilson. Justin
it gets better.
Short list with Michael Penix as the best backup. I got to see W's. I don't care how good the division is. I need 12.
I think you'll be lucky if they get half that, Colin.
6.
Colin, just remember, Russell Wilson, no guarantees beyond this year. Mike Tomlin, no guarantees beyond this year. A lot of TV chatter.
The over-under is 8.5.
I don't know if it's a smash spot on the under.
I'm just telling you, they better win more than that. At 8, 7 or 8, I got real questions. This is way too talented a roster.
But I think the bigger question, does Mike Tomlin want to be there anymore? Is he having fun? Does he want to stay?
I don't know. He'd be great in TV, but to me, I look at rosters
6 wins. Half of that he said.
I have the Steelers on a short list of top 5. Russell.
First off,
I forget who his coach.
I don't know who he is, but that guy's a fucking asshole. For once, I agree with Colin Cowherd. I can't fucking saying that. Okay, no, because he is right. Because we have a talented defense, which, by the way, I don't know if you heard. You know who the real sack record holder is now, right?
Wait a minute. Before you go, I forgot to do this before we started.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
There you go.
So you know who the real sack leader is now, right?
TJ, right? They went back and did the
whole
straight
hand, but number 90 owns it now.
My boy Michael.
Listen, but you know what?
It's okay. We'll share with you, bro. He has a ring. He's good.
Here's the thing with the Steeler team. On paper, they're built to win now.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's got to translate to the field. Okay, so this guy's right. There is no guarantee after this year with Russell Wilson. There is no guarantee right now with Mike Tomlin. But to say Mike Tomlin doesn't want to be there, what are you fucking smoking crack?
And I get it. Look, 6 wins out the Heat. A little bit of a hot take. Colin said 12 and 11. He goes, half of that. I'm like, that's, shit, man. You won. How many you won? You won.
Let's not act like this AFC North division is like the NFC East.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because I'll give Cleveland its due here. They do have a decently built team. The only thing is Deshaun Watson's not your guy.
Nope.
Wasn't your guy when you traded for him, and he's not your guy now. I don't know who the quarterback could be that would take you to that next level. But you have the defense to win now. You have the offense to win now. Your main problem is the quarterback position. And if you're a Browns fan that disagrees with it, well, go look at the stats because they tell the fucking story. Mm-hmm. Okay? So that's one. Two, Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is never going to be fully healthy again. If you heard it, something within his wrist, they had to fracture one of the bones so it could grow correctly again. He's never going to be able to play at 100%. So, but the Bengals is still a legitimate threat. Baltimore,
dude, absolutely.
Baltimore right now, with the Steelers, are the most complete team in the AFC North. And nobody can deny that. It would be Baltimore. It would be like 1A, 1B. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Then you have Cleveland, and then Cincinnati. Okay? In my opinion. All four of these teams could win 10, 11 games.
You got to get another 3 teams in the playoffs there. Out of that division, like we said last year. We called it. Look.
One of them's going to be out, and it ain't going to be Baltimore or Pittsburgh. So it's a toss-up between Cleveland and Cincinnati. And let's be honest, if Deshaun Watson gets hurt again, you don't have the miracle in Joe Flacco. You have fucking crab-stealing, finger-eating fucking Jameis Winston. He ain't going to win your dick.
And even if they had Joe Flacco, you think he's going to do that same performance again? Probably through 6 or 7 or 8 games. Again, that's lightning in a bottle. I think you got the Bengals way too low, man. I think the Bengals are better than Cleveland. I know the injury is a factor because look, that's the best quarterback. Yeah, the best quarterback in that division is Joe Burrow. All right, I put him over Lamar.
Yeah,
when healthy, dude. All right, because he has.
You can do that because out of the two, Joe Burrow is the more precision passer.
Yep, and he has that. I'm gonna go out there and have that toughness to win, in the clutch and to have the pressure because he's done it already. You know what I mean?
That's not to say that Lamar doesn't have it because he does. Because Lamar will put the team on his back and say, "Listen,
he does
do what I need to do to win." Burrow will do the same thing.
Exactly.
Russell Wilson will do the same thing. Justin Fields will do the same thing. Deshaun Watson is the wild card factor.
Well, he's not. He's got to go out. He's got to get out the game like last year. There was games that he didn't finish, and then he came and started the next week.
But to sit here, because obviously part of it is obviously on the ticker there, so I'm gonna say it. There's a Steeler podcast out there called Steel Here, hosted by this guy, fucking Kevin Adams or whatever his name is. This is the most flip-floppy Steeler fan I've ever heard talk in my life. Okay? You can't sit there and say 1 year Najee's not worth an extension, and then this year you're giving him all the credit that he's due. Because when you look at Najee Harris, in makeshift offensive lines, in 3 of what's going to be his 5th year, he's rushed for over 1,000 yards with shitty offensive lines. Le'Veon Bell couldn't do that with the Jets, and let's call it what it is. The Jets' offensive line, when they had Le'Veon Bell, was just as shitty as what the Steelers had with Najee Harris for the past 3 years. So all this Najee wants to play somewhere else. How about this? Let's not speculate any of it. And why doesn't Najee Harris just come out and just say, I didn't say it?
Yep.
Because I don't think he said it. Because if he said it, he would have came out and said, yeah, I said that shit. Najee Harris is a guy who's come out to the forefront and has spoken very, very honestly about certain things. So I don't think he said it. I listen, if Najee wants to stay, he stays. He goes, he goes. It'll just be another jersey that sits in the closet that I break out once in a while if he leaves. Whatever. It is what it is. Who gives a fuck anymore?
Yeah, man. But yeah, I thought you would get a kick out of this one here. You know, I was like, saw this, and I was like, I think I'm gonna bring this the last minute up. I'm like, all right, shout out to the Twitter account I just mentioned, Colonel Celebrini on X.
But it's just one of those, like, if you think, okay, and it's not a knock on Jaylen Warren. Everybody loves that Jaylen Warren could do what Jaylen Warren does.
He is the Tony Pollard right now, and I'll be honest with you, I love him, but he's not a 3-down back.
That's the thing. Everybody loved what Tony Pollard was doing.
Exactly.
When Ezekiel Elliott left and Tony Pollard had to become the guy, what happened?
He fucking disappeared.
Nothing.
Not a thing.
So if Najee leaves, what do you think is going to happen to Jaylen Warren when you make him the focal featured running back? The same exact thing. And what the Steelers need to realize is this. You are in a pass-happy league. You cannot be run-heavy. Granted, you have to have a running game to have a pass game. And you have to have a passing game to have a running game. So they have to complement each other somehow. But you're not going to be this running team you were when you had Jerome Bettis.
No, that's all. That's different.
But again, nobody's giving Najee Harris the credit for Jaylen Warren's success because look at when the Giants had Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yep.
Brandon Jacobs had to wear down the defensive line for Bradshaw to run off for like 80 yards on 4 carries. And whoever the third guy was. I mean, come on. There's a reason why Jaylen Warren does what Jaylen Warren does. It's because Najee wears down the defensive line first.
Yep, absolutely. When people say that he should be the starter, I'm like, no, motherfucker. Najee Harris should be the starter 1,000% over, over
I love Jaylen Warren. I love his style of play. I love it. A lot of people do.
Yeah, but
he's not a running back one.
He's not a 3-down back, brother. When you need him 3 fucking downs.
Like he would be a running back one in
the CFL. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no. He would be a running back one in the UFL.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, he would be in the NFL. If you want to pick a team where he would be the featured back and maybe somewhat successful, maybe right now, New England.
Yeah, it's true.
But if you put him on a team that's a contender, it'll just be the Tony Pollard effect.
Exactly.
And if Titans fans, you think you could get Tony Pollard when he was running behind Ezekiel Elliott, and you think Tony Pollard's replacing King Henry, you're fucking delusional. And not only that, you Titans fans are really delusional because now your wide receiver room is almost a bicentennial old that combined they could all sign up for AARP.
They have 2 Tony Pollards because Najee, his name Spears, I forget his first name. That dude is Tony Pollard. It's the same exact running back. So maybe they'll make one out of the 2. I don't know what they're trying to look over here.
I don't know. But...
Yeah, I thought you get a kick out of that one, Jim, and I think it's a good way to kind of like shut it down in a fun fashion here. But we man, listen, for me being as jet lag as I am, man, I think I powered through, man. It's been one of those days, man. I got in really late last night. You know what I mean, and spent 4 days of not gonna complain. A lot of partying, a lot of good times, man. But shoot, you pay for it. So, afterwards, especially when you're in your 40s, man.
I couldn't. One of the last times I ever went out and drank a whole night. Oh God,
I did it for 3.
I fucking felt like I should have been in the emergency room with IVs hooked up with fucking like Motrin.
Dude, I did it for 3, and imagine these are all events, open bar, great food for these events are 3 or 4 hours. All right, you know what I mean? And nobody parties. Let me tell you something. I've been in 2 different industries, and I've been in this industry, the solid waste industry, a lot longer than my other one. But nobody parties like the garbage men, bro. They are right now. Shout out to my boys. It's Waste Expo 2024. All right, my man, Jim. This is what we got this week, my guy. We'll definitely be back in a couple of weeks. I don't know. Let me see. Next week, I'll touch base with you. Maybe Saturday. I got something. I might have some opening. If we might throw a little depending on what's popping. I don't know. We'll see.
The other thing we gotta figure out is the other thing that I messaged you about, because so far Brandon's in.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta get at least 10 people.
So now we got to figure out who. You know what? Maybe. I see. I don't want to like exclude anybody.
No,
So
we'll throw some listeners in there.
So maybe what we'll do is maybe put it out as like a tweet, like, "Hey, we're going to do a Cigar and Sports Fantasy League." So, like the first year, we'll make it free.
Yeah.
See if it gains any traction, and then if it does, then we'll talk about obviously making it a pay league and what it's going to be
friendly. Yeah, exactly.
Something like where it's not going to hurt everybody's pocket. Maybe have like, maybe like Brent and Dave maybe want to do it. Garrett and Jalen maybe. Like
$25, something like that. That's pretty cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then like whatever first place is, second place, third place.
I got it.
I'm getting you a gift card to fucking Buffalo Wild Wings. Who the fuck knows? We'll figure.
We'll do something out, but coming soon will be the Cigars and Sports Fantasy Football League for this next upcoming season. We'll definitely believe that. And we'll do a live draft.
Oh
God! Do a live draft. Hey, anybody who wants to come on, I'll send you the link. We'll have everybody up there, man. That's how we get there.
God, it's gonna be like the Brady Bunch, except none of us are Mike Brady with AIDS.
Yeah, that's true. All right, my man. That's all I got for you.
And none of us look like Marsha either.
No. Oh man, I really gotta get some C's, bro. Your boy E-Man from the Average Joe Sports Talk Podcast, and as always,
Jim from the podcast.
I am really, dude. I haven't gotten jet lag in a minute, bro. And I'm tired as fuck.
I feel jet lag looking at you.
Shit, peace. Yeah, I know. Look, my eyes are. I'm not gonna say the word because I might gonna draw it, but they're very slanted.
Miyagi-ish.
Yeah, a little bit. Peace.
Yo!